Hey, this is Tom from Inspiration Metalworks, and in this week's video we are going to work on getting this automatic oiler hooked up to the 440. Alright, I don't know how well you guys know the Tormach 440, but the manual oiler on it, it sucks, right? I've had problems with this thing since I got it. I know I probably could have gone through support and tried to get a replacement, things like that. I realized though early on that it needed an automatic oiler. The manual oiler is it's a pain. The capacity's small. It just, for what I'm doing, it's not the right thing. So a little while ago I picked up this this automatic oiler off Amazon. It's 110 powered, and the idea was to get it all wired into the Tormach controller so that when you power it on, this comes on, it's on a timer and runs. For right now, because I'm at a point where I just need it to work, and I don't have time to be messing with the controller. I mean, I was just in there this week, replacing fuses and figuring out that there's wrong fuses in the in the box. Now I just need to get it to work. So for right now, I'm just going to get it wired up. I'm going to replace the this crappy little wire that they had coming out here with an actual cord, and get this running. So let's see what we've got to work with. You guys, I don't know if you can see, but we basically just have two screws holding that top on. I see this in the preview window is not very useful. Okay, two screws. Let's get that off, and then we'll see how this thing is wired up. It worries me a little bit that it's not grounded at all. All I see are two wires coming off this. Right, and it is AC. Okay, here's what we got. So we basically have controls. Yeah, there's no ground on this at all. And then we've got the pump. And if you look in here, the whole, I mean, you got this big cover because it's basically covering up the pump and the line. But effectively, it's just a little itty bitty timer, an LED driver on here for these the timers. And that's about it. So our wire, we're just in these two sections here, trying to decide if I just cap this or if I run it through. I think I'm going to run it through. I'd rather have a good secure run through here. So I'm going to work on this, and I'll bring you back in just a minute. Well, one of the things we needed to do is open up this side so I could get a proper fitting in here. And that drill basically mangled it, but did the job. You know what I need? These guys, I see all these guys with their backside chamfer tools. That would be awesome. That actually just about did it. So it still worked. Okay. Not exactly graceful, I know. But now I can get a proper connector on here for the size wire I'm going to be running through it. Because this ain't cutting it. Okay. No, I just realized that I need to get a different screwdriver. Be right back. And I'm back. Okay, so got a little screwdriver. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give it a shout out. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Craig, MC Engineering. There's his phone number. Talk about a hell of a guy. For the Summer Bash, so he lives in Arizona. Lives, I want to say down in the Tucson area, if I remember correctly. Gets up like 2 o'clock in the morning, drives to California, stays the day for the bash, drives home. I made that drive last year. And it was right about the time. Maybe he's not in Tucson. Maybe he's in a different part of Arizona. I might be mixing a couple of people up. But he's in Arizona. And I made that drive last year. And you know what? I flew into... look at that crap. It wasn't even going to work anyways. Yeah, I flew into to California this time because driving like 7 hours through the desert was not my idea of fun. Alright, just for grins, this was the side that was in those connectors. You guys see anything funny there? I don't know if you can see it, if it's in focus or not. Yeah, like that was gonna work. Come on. I'm glad I opened this thing up, because this would have been nothing but a headache. I gotta figure out if this has a ground. That's the other thing. I would really like to have this thing grounded. Any ideas, guys? Because I'm not seeing a ground anywhere on this. Alright, let's, anyways. Just double check. Yeah, that's the right size. So that can hold. Good. Alright, so just doing a quick check on that connector. Right. Sorry, I know it's shaking the camera. It's a rather precarious little setup that I've got going right now for that. So, let's get some wires. Thanks, Brad, by the way. Let's get some wires opened up. I'm going to do this very, very carefully, because this is sharp. Alright. Good. Did not cut into shielding. Alright, that's what I wanted to see. And we'll get this started here. I mentioned that as much as I like high-tech stuff and electronics and stuff like that, I'm colorblind. So in general, I've never been all that great at this. I know the theory, I know how to do stuff, but being colorblind means that if it's not black, white, and green, I sometimes have no idea what the heck I'm looking at. So, yeah. Alright. I know I've got an actual set of trimmers for that, but this will do the job. Okay. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't look to see which one was black and which one was white. But that's okay, because I know that on AC power it doesn't make a bit of difference. The one thing that I really want to figure out though is this ground. Yeah. Yeah. For right now, we're gonna leave it. I guess it's not gonna be grounded. Okay, I just invited the trolls from hell to come get me. Oh, ha, ha, ha. See? Almost made a huge mistake. So how many of you were just watching this video and going, no, don't do it, stop? Yeah. Well, I heard you. It worked. Also, what are your thoughts on using this as a stop like that? Because that's how the original one was, right? I don't know. Now, you know what I should do is I should stop the video. I should go back and watch and find out which one was in where, just so I can do it the right way. No, doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter. I may actually go back and change this later, but I know that it does not matter. You know what does matter? Having a gauge wire that's too big to fit in. I know none of you have ever heard that before. It's too big, it won't fit. Okay, how many of you just spit your drinks out? If you didn't, I need to go back to the drawing board. Okay. Wires. Stan. I hope you forgive me for this one, buddy. I'm sure if you're watching it, you're probably taking notes on all the things I did wrong. And I'll probably hear from you later. And that's okay too, because, well, I'd like to know. Alright. Tighten that up. Tighten that up. Let's see, that should go like this. We got all these wires around here. Make sure nothing gets pinched. This is not the best design in the world, folks. Now, working in IT like I have done for years, I know that the second you button everything up and then do your test, it all goes wrong. Wow, look at that. It all goes wrong. And I should have done my test before I had closed it. But I'm living dangerously today. Okay, so you guys just watched me do all of this all the way through. No stops on that. I'm gonna plug it in and we're gonna see if it blows up live on camera, or at least in the recording. Well, that says an error. Error 1. Nice. No idea why I'm getting that error. So, I'm gonna turn it off, because I believe it's probably the low oil error. So, I'm gonna turn the video off. I'll throw some oil in here because it does have an indicator on here. Maybe this thing is really fancy and I didn't know it. Let's find out. Wish I had a manual for this or could read Chinese, but that's okay. There is some English on it, and I remember in the listing that it does say that it has an alarm. Doesn't have enough oil in it, so I'm pretty sure that's what that alarm was. Okay, wait, oil. It's going to make it a lot more difficult to mount, but that's okay. Shall we try it again, folks? What do you say? Power. There it goes. And we shot oil out. Did you guys see it? I didn't, but it ran. And it's gonna run 30 seconds. Oh my goodness, okay. Yeah, it's working. I'm getting oil everywhere. 30 seconds every 30 minutes. Okay, we're working. I'm gonna clean up and let's get this thing mounted to the Tormach, and I'll bring you back. Looks like I was gonna have to do this anyways because this fitting is too small. So I have to use the new fitting. Just hoping it's threaded the same way. Yes, okay, good. Good. for a temporary setup, I'm just going to set it in place on here, so I can test to make sure that everything is working right. And once I know everything is working the way it's supposed to, I'll get it mounted permanently. But for right now, what I really need to know is that everything is getting oiled properly. Cool. Alright, well, I got the basics working. There's a short in the motor in those connectors. Again, remember how I showed you the bad wiring in there? I gotta go back in there and clean up some of that. There are leaks around everything, so I need to go in and seal that up. But otherwise, I mean, in theory, it's working. So I'm gonna take a little bit of time to get that going, and yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and if you got any comments, any constructive criticism, leave them below. Thanks.